You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, which is kind of like a Friday because we won't be here tomorrow or Friday. But thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. The first live broadcast is a private broadcast reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you haven't taken your 1-week free trial, go to mytradingiq.com, and at the top of the page there's a link that says 5-day free trial. Click the link today so that we can get your indicators set up, your desktop set up, and you'll be ready to go when the new week begins Monday morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Now, when the live broadcast ends each day, we take a 30-minute break, and we come back for the afternoon broadcast, this broadcast, which is open to the public. That's everybody, everywhere, on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There are 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast live. Best way, go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast. Click the link, complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. You only have to do that once. What will happen going forward every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before the broadcast starts. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is simply click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Benefit of that is that you'll have access to the question box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Now, there's going to be days, of course, when you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join live. You can. There'll be days when you're just busy, can't join live, but wish you could check it out later. You can. Talking about our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,300 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. Now, we're going to do things a little bit different today. We're not going live on the TradingView platform. However, Michael's going to pop in right now and give us a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. And when he's done, I'll come back and we'll have our daily devotional, word of prayer, and then I'll do a recap as I normally do each and every day. Okay,
All
looks
right.
good.
Great, thanks. All right, it was exactly as I thought it would be. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd day of November, 2023. If you have not taken a free trial with us and you'd like to take a free trial, then go here to mytradingiq.com. On this page, all you have to do is click on this link right here. Click on that, it's going to bring you to this registration page. Now here, just fill this out. All right, once you fill it out, you will be sent everything that you need to get into the room in the morning. Now, if you have a TradingView, give us a TradingView login ID right here, username, login ID. And if you have a NinjaTrader, give us your NinjaTrader machine ID right here. Okay. Once you do that, then we'll be able to set you up as we give you all the stuff that you need to get into the room, or before you actually get all the stuff that you need to get into the room. So you'll be hitting the road, hitting the ground, running. Okay. Now, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today was one of those days where you wanted to quit when you got your goal for the day, because we got the goal for the day at exactly $100 a contract. We did work our way up to 165, but we were up pretty good. And then at the end of the session, things started to really flatten out, and we had like 5 stop outs out of the last 6 trades, something like that. Anyway, I'll get into it all right now. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, I got to say this again. You have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. We made 68 ticks on the NQ. We lost 11 on the Russell. Made 3 on crude, and we lost 12 on the ES. That put us at plus 165 in the morning session. Today it took 11 minutes and 3 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $1,100, and we took a total of 27 trades this morning. So on the month now, so how much did it take? 11 minutes and 3 trades to get to $1,100. So 24 more trades. 24 more trades gave us $65. We were up a lot more than that at one point. I guess the high of the day, on the NQ, the high of the day we're at 88. On the Russell, the high of the day we're at plus 9. On the crude, the high of the day we're at plus 23. And on the ES, at the high of the day we're at minus 2. So we never got positive on the ES. I guess it's 0 was our high of the day on the ES. Anyway, so on the month now, we're at $5,440 a contract. That's over 16 trading days, averaging $340 per contract per 2-hour trading day. On the year now, we're at $98,277. That's over 223 trading days, averaging $440 per contract per 2-hour trading day. How many days do we have left this month? Business days. We have almost all of next week. Okay, so we have 4. I'd like to get this to 100,000 by the end of the month. That would be good. See what it's like next week. Anyway, if you were to quit trading when you get your goal for the day and you were at 1 contract per month, so far this year you would have had to work only 77.2 hours and you would have averaged $2,493 per hour. That's pretty good money. So far this month, we've worked just about 9 hours getting the goal for the day. And in those 9 hours with 11 contracts, we made about $25,000. So it's about right. That's about right. A little better than that, I think. So let's get into the actual trades. Start out with crude oil. We had quite a few trades everywhere, really. It was spread around pretty well today. So we'll start out with crude. And I believe I hit that. There we go. You see the last 2 trades here on crude? Both stopped us out. That's what I was talking about. We had 3 stop outs on crude today. Unfortunately, we had 1 really nice trade. This one here. This is where we ended up getting the goal for the day. Our first trade, we stopped out on the NQ. And then we had a break even on the Russell, and then we got a plus 20 on this first trade here on crude. So we got 20 ticks right there. That's where we got the goal for the day. Then we stopped out there. That put us down to 10. Then we picked up 12 ticks over here. That got us back to 22. Then we picked up 1 more tick here. That got us to 23. Then we stopped out again. That got us to 13. Then we stopped out again. That got us to 3. And we didn't trade anymore. You can see here during the break that it was just going sideways and there really wasn't anything you could do there during the break. Okay, that was what crude oil did today. The Russell, now as I said, we were at our highest point on the Russell before we took a trade. We were at break even on the day. But then we started out, let's get back to the very beginning. Actually, no, it looks like we had, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, we did right here. We had plus 2. It wasn't the Russell that was like that. It was the ES that was like that for us. We had a break even here. Then we had a plus 2 on the Russell right here. Right. And then the next trade we had was another positive trade right here. We had plus 9 on the blue arrow. And then the next one we took these blue arrows and we grabbed this one. It stopped us out. That put us at minus 1. And then the next one after that stopped us out and put us at minus 11. So the last 2 trades on the Russell and the last 2 trades on the crude were both stop outs for us today. And wait, let's look at the ES now. On the ES, let's go all the way back here. I think the last trade on the NQ was a stop out too. All right, so here we go on the ES. Now you pretty much see it all in one span here. This is where we were at the high of the day on the ES over here before we took our first trade. Then we did take our first trade. We're at -10. Then we picked up 10 on this one, so we're at -2. Went to break even there. I missed this beautiful blue arrow right here. We grabbed that one, but I missed that one. And then I took this one, and this one stopped me out again. And that put me at -12. And that is where we ended it, right there. We've been in no trade zone pretty much since then. And that was the ES. Now the NQ, let's see, on the NQ, let's scroll all the way back here. On the NQ. Okay. Come on, we're almost there. Almost there. Here we go. There we go. Our first trade on the NQ was right here. Now it gapped a little bit down right there, and it gapped enough to get my stop to break even, but I didn't get filled right there. I got filled on a pullback up, and it ended up stopping me out. So it was -20 there. That was the very first trade of the morning, -20 there. But then we picked up 12 ticks here to get us to -8. Then 8 ticks here to get us back to 0. Then break even. Didn't get any of these, and another break even, then 4 ticks there to get us to +4. Then another break even there. Missed all these blue arrows. We took this green arrow over here, went from +4 to +12, so we had an 8 tick there. And then the next one, well, somewhere in there we had an 8 tick. This, I think this was a 30 tick. We went from +12 to +42. Then after that one, we didn't trade for a little while in here. We're doing the lesson plan. Then here in the middle of the lesson plan, I took this one, went from 42 to 72. And then went from 72 to 88. So we had 16 on that one, I think. And then our last trade here. Oh, nope, here's another trade right here. So this must have been one that we got 16 on. Somewhere in there, there was, all the arrows were accounted for. One of those was 12 ticks that I didn't think I had marked, but I guess I did. But this one here, this last one here, I guess this is one that we got 16 ticks on. And that put us at 88, and then we stopped out here, and that put us back down to 68. And that was all that we did with the NQ. We really didn't have any other reason to trade in here. Even during the break, look, it's totally flat in here. So what I would say is be careful trading right now. The markets aren't giving up a whole bunch right now. If you have not taken a free trial and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com. This is where you sign up for it. You click that button, and it's going to bring you to this page right here. Just fill out this form. Now, you can fill out the form today if you want to. We've got to make a new form for next week. I don't believe that form has been created yet, but you can fill out this form. I'll extend this form. I'll go in and add some more dates onto this form. Go out and fill out this form, and we'll get you all the information that you need to take the free trial. Okay. Now there's no credit card required. You just have to right in here give us your TradingView username or login ID if you have it, and right here give us your machine ID, right, if you have it for NinjaTrader. And that's it. That's all you have to do. All right. That is going to be it. Now, if you have any questions, you can always email support@cfrn.net or support@mytradingiq.com. All right. And with that, I will pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, and Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready, it looks like you are.
I am. Recap of the recap of the morning session.
Today, it took 11 minutes and 3 trades to get to $1,100.
Great way to end the week.
Yes, yes, it was. Thank you very much.
By the way, if you have a chance, before you take off, I told you that I took the Black Friday, so I've got a second premium channel.
Okay.
So, and it's CFRN 2. So if you can send the invite
Okay.
only over there. If you have time before you go, I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do it.
Okay.
Well, you gotta tell me what the idea is, but I can enable it.
It's CFRN2.
CFRN2. Yeah, CFRN2. Yeah, I'll just enable it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, guys. Have a
great
good holiday. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, you
I'll
too.
see you
Happy
Sunday
Thanksgiving.
night or Monday morning.
Yep. If we don't talk in between, I'm sure
Okay.
we'll probably talk in between.
All right.
Take care.
Okay, guys. We'll open now with our daily devotional and a word of prayer. We ended, after a week and a half, our topic, talking to God. Today, we're going to start a new topic. God wants you free. Our scripture is John 4:21 through 26. I'm going to share it from the Message translation. Believe me, woman, the time is coming when you Samaritans will worship the Father, neither here at this mountain nor there in Jerusalem. You worship guessing in the dark. We Jews worship in the clear light of day. God's way of salvation is made available through the Jews, but the time is coming, it has in fact come, when what you're called will not matter and where you go to worship will not matter. It's who you are and the way you live that count before God. Your worship must engage your spirit in the pursuit of truth. That's the kind of people the Father is looking for. Those who are simply and honestly themselves before Him in their worship. God is sheer being itself, spirit. Those who worship Him must do it out of their very being, their spirits, their true selves, and adoration. Woman at the well said, I don't know about that. I do know that the Messiah is coming. When He arrives, we'll get the whole story. I am He, said Jesus. You don't have to wait any longer or look any further. Again, that was John 4, verses 21 through 26. Everybody worships something. God created us to worship Him. Idolatry is the counterfeit of worship. Like the Samaritan woman at the well, we worship our way into trouble by worshiping counterfeits. And we can worship our way out of trouble by worshiping our Creator. God provided the 10 Commandments in order of importance. First commandment teaches us to worship and who or what not to worship. Second commandment teaches us how to worship and how not to worship. It's impossible to worship the one true God while disobeying the remaining commandments. Dishonor, murder, adultery, greed, lying, and envy happen because we choose to commit idolatry. Our false gods lead us into slavery to sin rather than freedom from sin. Now, that word idolatry, we often think of someone bowing down before an idol made by the hands of men. Well, fast forward a few thousand years, and we still have false idols, but they look a little bit different. Maybe you aren't able to attend church on Sunday because the game is on. Or maybe you can't attend church on Sunday because your favorite musician is performing a concert. Or maybe God blessed you with a brand new Tesla. You'd like to go to church, but you got to get that Tesla over to the car wash so that it shines brightly and everybody knows you've arrived. Worship is not merely a part of what we do and something that starts and stops. Worship is what everyone does all the time. The issue is not if we worship, but who, what, and how we worship. When someone spends all his or her time and treasure on golf, boating, fishing, sex, gambling, watching television, surfing the internet, or ranting about politics, he or she is making a sacrifice. The alcoholic worships the bottle. The drug addict worships the high. The codependent person worships his or her relationship partner. Greedy person worships money. The control freak worships being in charge. And the helicopter parent worships his or her kid. I've, over the course of my long life, thanks to God, and especially here lately, I see it more and more. There used to be an old saying about, who wears the pants in the family? It was usually a dig at the husband because the wife seemed to be in charge. But so many families now, it's the kids who wear the pants in the family. It's what they want and when they want it. And parents investing all their time and treasure in trying to fulfill a child's wishes, a child who's not yet even old enough to know who he is or she is or what they really want. Worship is what happens. True worship is when we worship the Creator God in the right way, in spirit and in truth. John 4:24. Idolatry is what happens when we worship a counterfeit God or worship the right God in a counterfeit way. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, as we turn our hearts towards you, we reflect on the encounter between Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well, as we just read in John 4. Lord, we acknowledge that you seek worshipers who will worship you in spirit and in truth. Help us, Lord, to worship you in the fullness of spirit and truth. May our worship be authentic, arising from the depths of our hearts. And may it be grounded in the truth revealed through your Son, Jesus Christ. We ask for your guidance from the Holy Spirit in our worship, that it may be pleasing to you and draw us closer to your presence. May we worship you not only with our words and songs, but with the entirety of our lives, surrendered to your will. Lord, in a world that's filled with so many distractions and false worship, may we be discerning and cling to the truth found only in your word. Open our eyes to see you more clearly and to know you more intimately through our worship. We're grateful for the opportunity to worship you. For you are worthy of all honor, glory, and praise. As we worship in spirit and truth, may our lives be a reflection of your love and grace. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Amen. Happy Wednesday. Everybody knows that the U.S. markets, or most of you know, that the U.S. markets tend to rally into a U.S. holiday weekend. Now, I believe the markets are going to be open Friday morning till noon, but will be closed after we finish this broadcast till Monday morning. However, if you've not yet taken your free trial, this is a perfect time to do it so that we can get your indicators enabled. You'll have the long weekend to kind of figure things out. If you need help over the weekend, we provide for both our members and trial members around-the-clock support via Telegram. So if you take action today, then you'll be ready to rock and roll when the markets open Sunday night, when the alerts start to go out, and then Monday morning when the live training room opens at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Right now the Dow's up, well, let me just give you the numbers, all of them, from around the world. Start with the cash markets, the indices as they're called. The Dow's up 191 points. NASDAQ is up 99 points. S&P 500 is up 23 points. And the Russell 2000 is up almost 17 points, almost 1%. In the commodity basket, crude oil not rallying into the weekend, down $2.22, trading 75.52 last. Now that's a drop of almost 3%. Gold down $8.10, trading 19.93.50 last. Silver down 16 cents, trading 23.70 last. In the Asian markets at the close, now keep in mind the global markets will be open because, well, it's only here in the U.S. that we celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow. I think Canada has a Thanksgiving Day, but it's not tomorrow. In Asia, at the close, Nikkei up 97 points, Shanghai down 24, the Hang Seng unchanged. In the European markets at the close, FTSE down 12, the DAX up 57, the CAC up 31. Pretty quiet holiday trade. The institutional traders, the deep pockets, they're already on their way to the Hamptons or the Bahamas or wherever it is they go on a holiday weekend. It was a mixed day in Asia, a mixed day in the UK, but so far it is a green Radio Wednesday here in the US of A. So let's take a look at Logic 247. It's our 24/7 around the clock E-mini alert service. It's been 277 weeks since we rolled it out. That's after the beta test. I forget how long our beta test was, but we went live 277 weeks ago, and since then we've issued over 15,400 individual handcrafted alerts. Members have access to the alerts free trial members have access to these alerts. Now, with 15,400 plus individual alerts, what we've averaged is 20% of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a very simple process we teach our lifetime members, our passport holders, in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. This recap was done at 8:30 a.m. this morning by Valerie. She'll update it this afternoon because some will have resolved themselves, plus I have put out additional alerts this morning. But here's where we stood as of 8:30 this morning since the markets opened this past Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. 27 total alerts issued. 3 never triggered. Still waiting on 9, plus the ones I've issued today. So that gave us 15 actionable alerts, of which 3 or 20% would have been stopped out based on that risk profile I just discussed. So this will change for better or worse when Valerie does the final recap this afternoon. Now, the logic alerts are based on current price action. They can come out at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. because futures trade around the clock and we have traders around the globe. Our day session is their night session and vice versa. But we still have our original alert service, concierge trade alerts, which are a little bit different. They don't come out around the clock. They're posted as a static report Sunday through Thursday, right after the Globex open. So the Wednesday session started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And at 6:15 p.m. Eastern, this report was published. Every one of our members and trial members had these numbers. So since this broadcast is open to the public, if you want to grab a screenshot, go ahead. If you're watching after the fact on our YouTube channel, then you can simply hit pause on the video and jot down the numbers that are important to you based on whatever markets you trade or are trying to learn how to trade. By the way, we trade every market exactly the same. Some people would tell you that's not possible because different markets have different personalities, and I don't argue that point. But price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. So when this report is published for members and trial members each evening, first thing you want to do is go to the 30-minute chart of whatever markets you trade. We use the ES as an example. First thing you want to do on your 30-minute chart, because all alerts, logic and CTAs are based on the 30-minute chart. Make note on your 30-minute chart where price is at this time. It's always going to be between these two numbers. Then draw a line in the sand at the long target, a line in the sand at the short target. They will serve as great visual cues to help you stay on the right side of the street. Now, if price gets above the 30-minute BBC, that tells you price is attempting to reach the long target. Price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. BBC simply stands for bull, bear, cross. It's the green line you'll see on my charts. When price gets above that green line, bullish, anticipating higher prices. Price gets below that green line, we're bearish, anticipating lower prices. It's really pretty simple. Now, on the logic alerts, I looked left for you to point out potential obstacles. So every logic alert has an initial target designed to help you get your goal for the day. But with most of the alerts, you'll see a second target, a third target, a fourth target, then a final trade to target. If it's a short alert, final trade to target is the weekly trading zone below. If it's a long alert, the final trade to target is the weekly trading zone above. Now, it's important to note, from the moment the markets open Sunday night until they close Friday afternoon, price is always trying to reach a weekly trading zone. Published the zones for our members since December 14th, 2009. That's a long time. And remember, price is always trying to reach a weekly zone. Price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the zone above. Below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the zone below. Now, the zones are published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once they're published, carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. So really, you just have to follow what I said and resist the urge to make it more complicated than that. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. So let's go to the charts, and we'll start where we always do, with the daily chart. Now, you might say, I don't trade the daily chart. Me either. You might say, I don't trade the S&P. I do. But it doesn't matter. Whatever market you do trade, if you'll spend 2 minutes with the daily chart, your trading results change radically. Because what you're looking at when you look at the daily chart is you're looking at what the institutions are looking at. And it's the institutional traders who move price. It has to do with account size. They trade in great size because they have account balances in the hundreds of millions, billions, and trillions of dollars even, in some cases. So by looking at the daily chart, if you're printing a green candle on the daily, you then drill down to your 30-minute, and as long as price is above the BBC, you then continue to your range chart and do exactly what Michael teaches you how to do every day in the live training room for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Last Friday, I was in a mentoring session. I know I've talked about this already. This is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. This was last Friday. I was in a mentoring session with one of our longtime members, and we drew in this 20-point window of opportunity. And on Monday, what happened? Filled the window. Tuesday, we filled it coming back in the opposite direction. And what have we done today, Wednesday? Fill that 20-point window again. Now, this swing high right here lines up with this swing high right here. See that? If you follow the horizontal line on my cursor, just to the left of my pointer, you'll see a swing high. Then follow across that horizontal line, and there's today's high. Where's the next obstacle? Right here. The high of this day, 45.97.50. Could we see it today? It's possible. If not, could we see it Sunday night? It's possible. But here's what's important. The step line has crossed to the right side of blue and climbing. When that happens, price will typically pull back to the BBC, whether you're on the daily chart or the 30-minute chart. What's holding up the pullback right now is the step line. It's crossed, giving us the signal that the market is going to attempt to pull back. Okay. But because the step line is directly below price, yesterday it served as good support, and today it served as good support. So we need to see price get below the step line. That's what the black line's called. We need to see price get below the step line, and then you got potential support at the low of this candle, 45.1275. Then you've got the 24% fib retracement, which is 45.03. And then if price gets through the 24% fib, the next obstacle to the downside will be this trend line, which is right where the BBC is. That's support times 2. By the time price gets down here, the step line will probably have risen above that trend line. And you got the 38% fib, and you've got these lows as potential support, and the bullish cross as potential support, then the 50% fib, which almost always gives a good bounce. Okay, got this bounce, and on this one we just ripped right through it. Institutional traders look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Again, as I already said, it has to do with the count size. They trade in such size that it actually moves price. When you or I trade 10 or 20 contracts, that doesn't move price. Unless it's in the middle of the night in some very thin market, then you can become the dominant force as a retail trader. You can also get your head handed to you. So for overnight trading, I recommend the ES, crude, and gold. Okay? So the purpose of looking at the daily chart before you begin your trading session is to get an idea of not only what the deep pockets are doing, but where the obstacles are. Now, on this whole climb up, as I pointed out, the obstacles overhead. After this one, pointed out this one, which is exactly where we got rejected today. And then the next one will be 45.97.50. So again, no matter what market you trade, or what individual stock, or crypto, or Forex, or ETF, spend 2 minutes with the daily chart before you start trading. Your trading results will reflect the difference. So again, all alerts are based on the 30-minute chart, both the logic alerts and the concierge trade alerts. I was in a mentoring session yesterday afternoon, right before the markets closed, and we drew in this potential window of opportunity. Okay? And when the markets opened last night right here, we had an attempt to go lower, okay? And it would have been enough to give you your goal for the day. If you'd have jumped in at 45.45, took you down to a low of 45.43, it's 2 points. But the market found support. got above the BBC, and then we had an up closed above the BBC. So this candle opened at 45.50 and ran up 3 points to 45.53. When the market finds resistance, it will go look for support. When price drops to a weekly trading zone, we expect it to be good support until proven otherwise. 70% of the time, the market will consolidate at a weekly zone. 20% of the time, price will get rejected. 10% of the time, you'll get the slice. Okay. Now, we've hit the long target. And after this initial candle last night, there was no reason to trade towards the short target because you had green candle, green candle, green candle. Then you get above the BBC. Now watch what happens when this rally starts. This is what I call the perfect stack. Price, step line, blue and climbing, BBC. And look what happened. Now we had some news this morning, some high impact news, which took us up to the high of the day. But again, that high of the day stopped at the place where we've been telling you it would probably find resistance for many weeks. Now, that doesn't mean we know with certainty what's going to happen next in the market, because no one does. I know people lie to you. They send you emails. You go to their website. There's cleverly written ad copy. And it's as if they have found the keys to the universe. Well, you know how that works out. We simply apply logic, okay? On this day, we had a green candle all the way up. But by the time that day closed, price had retraced all the way back to where it opened. So we know there's sellers parked there with orders. Just like there's sellers parked at this level. Okay? It's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's logic. And I don't mean logic 247, but that's where the name came from. Okay? It's logical thinking, which over time just becomes common sense. I mean, when the market's doing this, you're probably not thinking about going long. Let's go back to the 30-minute chart. When the market's doing this, you're not thinking about going short, right? Now the step line crossed here, okay? We did venture a bit further, okay, because of news, etc. But now that once that step line crosses, you expect price to pull back to the BBC. And it did on this candle. The market finds support, it will go look for resistance. When the market finds resistance, it will go look for support. Now, the pullback to the BBC holds more often than not. Like here, like here. And if it's pulling up from below, like here, like here, like here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Get the idea? So we fully expect price to hold. But if it doesn't, that's okay. Because if the pullback to the BBC does fail to hold, then we just need to get below that low right there. And bang, there's a couple points. 45.57, 45.55. Now this wick, that's potential support. So we're trading from the break of that low to that low. Okay? That's how the windows of opportunity work. So again, this window was drawn yesterday afternoon just before the markets closed, during this candle right here. We didn't hit the window though until 5 a.m. Eastern this morning. And we ripped right through it and kept going. Now in the beginning, we teach you to get 2 points a day, put the mouse away, and increase the number of contracts you trade over time as it's outlined in the 2420 blueprint. If you're currently trying to trade one contract and get 20 points a day, that's a tough road to hoe, man. Some days the market doesn't give you the opportunity to get 20 points. But there's never a day that the market doesn't give you multiple opportunities to take 2 points out of the market, even if it takes you a couple of trades. Now, 2 points in the S&P is worth $100 per contract traded. But per the 2420 blueprint, as you earn your way up the ladder, when you've earned the right to trade 5 contracts, those same 2 points are now worth $500 a day. And as you keep earning your way up the ladder, 10 contracts, 2 points is $1,000 a day. It's $250,000 a year. Top 3% of wage earners worldwide. Do you have to stop at 10 contracts? No. You can continue to increase your size, but you only add with profit you earned in the market. In fact, the blueprint is going to instruct you in the beginning. You're going to trade in your demo account. You're going to put together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal in 10 trades or less. Only then do you think about trading your live account. You've come to us to learn a strategy, a methodology. So you got to learn it. I know it sounds an awful lot like work. It is. It's a job. It's simply a job that allows you to earn literally as much as you want to earn once you learn how to trade. Now you might think, I know how to trade. I've bought 100 different indicator packages with PDFs and cherry-picked videos. Okay. You now understand that that did not teach you how to trade. And that's where we differ. Our membership is a lifetime, where you have access to live training, 2 hours and 15 minutes every trading day. You have around-the-clock support via Telegram. You have access to unlimited one-on-one mentoring. And you're able to attend workshops, the members-only workshops on Thursday night. So we're in this for the long haul. If you're looking to get rich quick, you're in the wrong place. Look what happened as price approached the BBC. It got rejected. Now, does that mean it's going to turn into a green candle and go all the way to the next zone overhead? Or take out this swing high? No. But I'll tell you what is going to happen, and I'm going to say this with great certainty. By the end of the session today, price is either going to take out this low, or this high, or this high. See, price is always trying to do one of two things: break the previous swing high or break the previous swing low. If you remember that, every time you look at a chart, Is price above the BBC? If so, it's trying to break the previous swing high and it's trying to get to the weekly zone overhead. Price is below the BBC. It's trying to break the previous swing low. It's trying to get to the zone below. Trading's not easy, but it can be simple if you don't complicate it. Now, the world has made it very complicated. Why? So they can sell you an endless array of indicators and oscillators and holy grails and algorithms and all this stuff. Okay? We use a very simple set of indicators. And we don't need anything else. We don't need any additional filter. We don't, none of that, because we understand how the markets work. And that's what we'll teach you if you choose to become a passport holder. If your plan is to become someone who trades for a living, you do not want to spend the rest of your life waiting for somebody to tell you when to get in and when to get out. That's not trading. That's just copying what a trader does. And you go, what's wrong with that? Well, I don't know. Someday he could decide he's made enough money, doesn't want to trade anymore. Or he could step in front of the proverbial bus. Then where are you? So the purpose of our alerts and everything we do is designed to help you become self-sufficient. Now, I'm on the West Coast, Michael's on the East Coast, but if we were to both fall off the edge of the earth at the same time, if you've been with us for any length of time, of course you'll be sad, times two. But your career will not be in jeopardy because you have already learned how to trade. That is such a valuable life skill. And once you learn it, nobody can ever take it away from you. The Dow, we opened here. The vertical line separates today, Friday, from Thursday, from Wednesday. See support, see resistance, see support. That's how she goes. So we opened last night, got above the BBC. There was some jockeying back and forth till we hit the long target. And we got a pullback, okay? And these lows are right where this bullish cross took place. We expect that to be support, and it was. That sent us back above the BBC. Now, this candle sliced through the zone like it wasn't even there on the 30-minute chart. But when it ran out of steam, what did it do? It retraced to the zone it sliced through. And then what did it do? It continued in the direction of the slice. Now on the Dow, the step line is starting to cross and climbing. That happens, expect to pull back to the BBC. And expect the pullback to hold until proven otherwise. If price were to come crashing down through the BBC and take out that low and take out that low, still grab your goal for the day right there. From 56 to 36. No, we need 20 points with the Dow. We need 2 points with the ES, 20 points with the Dow. The Russell. Here's where we opened last night. Pulled up to the BBC resistance. The market finds resistance, it's going to go look for support. When price drops to a weekly zone, we expect support. And it consolidated. Remember, that'll happen 70% of the time. This is what rejection looks like. This was a red candle all the way down to the zone. By the time the 30-minute candle closed, It had pulled all the way back. That's rejection. Okay. So we go up to the zone, we consolidate for a few hours, and it was a little messy, but there was opportunity to get your goal for the day. We hit the long target, spiked, ran into resistance. That resistance came. See this bearish cross? That represents resistance. Okay. You have a bearish cross that leads to an extended move. The first time price revisits that area, it will most likely be resistance. So back to the BBC, back to the zone, down to the zone. You see how blue and climbing is turning to red and falling right there? I would suggest there's the potential that the Russell will trade lower. You need 2 points, but you've got potential support there, there, there. That low right there. See how it perfectly lines up with the bullish cross? When you have a bullish cross that leads to an extended move, the first time price revisits that area, it will almost always be good support. This is all the stuff nobody ever told you about trading. In Q, we open, drop to the zone, cycle on the ES, zones 15,941/42, low is 43. 5 ticks or 5 points at $20 a point, usually a goal for the day. This opened at 967, 67. It dropped to 43. That's your goal for the day. It's practically a goal for the week. Then price pulls up to the zone, which we expect to be resistance, and the BBC we expect to be resistance. That's resistance times 2. We consolidate it, and then we drop back to the zone below. Support, which sent us back up to the zone above, consolidation. And then once we closed above, this candle opened at 15,985. $900 per contract traded. Just up to the target. Kept going all the way to the zone. Crude oil. We opened pretty flat last night, and we finally got a bearish cross. It's when the red line crosses below the green line. Took us right down to the target. 77.35 to 77.25. That'd be your goal for the day. So we get a leg, we get a retracement. Another leg takes us to the zone. We consolidate. And then we drop all the way to the zone below. 75.20/25. See this red candle. The next candle opened here, went down to the zone, and bounced. And this time we came all the way through the zone. And if we look left, I can show you why. But I'll let you find it. Take the trial, I'll teach you how. So from this support, price has gotten back above the BBC. So crude looks like it wants to take a little climb now. But you got potential resistance right here. See these 2 wicks? It's potential resistance. Price tried to push higher. Sellers pushed it back down. And they really pushed it down. So you got to make sure price gets clearly above. So let's call it 76.45. 76.75. That's $300 per contract traded. And with price above the BBC and blue and climbing, see how red and falling has turned to blue and climbing? See how the step line crossed? And we pulled back to the BBC, but this time the pullback didn't hold. We closed above the BBC, but then we pulled back from above and that held. So that's what's going to create this opportunity up here, potentially. Window of opportunity. 76.45 to 75, $300 per contract traded. Gold. Here's where we opened last night. We attempted to go lower. We went enough to get your gold for the day. Let's see. This candle opened at 88.7, and this low was 97.3. A $1 move gives you your goal for the day, whether you're trading one contract, 10 contracts, or 100. So we consolidate at the zone, make a run up to the target, and this resistance right here from yesterday came this resistance. Then we can pull back to the BVC and it holds, gives us a bounce. But blue and climbing has now gotten directly above price. That's now potential resistance because it's on its way to probably turning into red and falling. Bearish cross, perfect stack down. Price, step line, red and falling, BVC. Where'd it take us? Right to the target. Support, bounced us back up to resistance at the step line. Resistance, sent us back down to support. And right now we're just consolidating at the target. Silver, here's where we opened. Try to get through the zone, finally got through the zone. This candle opened at 23.91 and ran up 11 points, $550 per contract traded. And we got back below the BBC and we dropped right to the target. Bounced back up to the BBC, the pullback held. Then down we go to the zone. We spiked the zone, but we closed above it. Now we're just consolidating quietly sideways, probably into the close. This is holiday trade. Be careful out there. See, it's easy to predict what a professional trader will do under any given set of conditions. But afternoons like today and like Friday morning, professional traders aren't present. You got what I call the weekend warriors. Okay? People who have a charting platform, they have a little money in the account, but they don't really know how to trade. So they're just pulling the mouse. They're just clicking the mouse to see what happens. It looks like we're going to go up, or it looks like we're going to go down. No rhyme or reason to it. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen next when you don't have professional traders, institutional traders in the marketplace. So we come down on the euro to the target. Support sends us back to resistance, down to the zone, back to resistance. We finally make it down to this zone. Step line crossed red and falling. Chances are we're going to pull up to the BBC. And if the pull up holds, we'll get another leg to the downside. We trade every market exactly the same. And we're pretty much right where we are when the broadcast started. And that probably won't change because of the holiday trade. All right. To become a lifetime member, you can go here to eminifuturestrading.com, but that's going to change. You're going to be able, come Monday, you'll be able to go to just mytradingiq.com, and there'll be a shopping cart there. You can grab your passport. For now, this is still up and running. So either place, eminifuturestrading.com or mytradingiq.com, either one. Couple mouse clicks, become a lifetime member. Now there's no gotchas, no gimmicks. When we say lifetime, well, that's what we mean. And here's what's really important. There's no recurring fees. Ever. No upsells. No nonsense. 9 out of 10 new traders fail simply because they don't have anyone to teach them how to do the job. Most traders are going to go, I'm not giving away my secrets. You see, Michael and I, we struggled a lot when we met back in 2005, 2006. And we tried to find some honest trader to teach us, and there was none to be found. And I offered a pretty hefty cash bounty. But again, it's that thinking, oh, I can't teach somebody else my secrets, then it won't work. We created something entirely different. Our strategy teaches you to the tick at what price to enter the market. So when you have a whole bunch of people entering long or short at the exact same time at the exact same price, guess what happens? The momentum just pushes you right to the target. Stay away from unrealistic expectations. 2 points a day in the S&P, 20 points in the Dow, 10 ticks in crude, 10 ticks in gold. That's all you need. And over time, you'll use your profit to add additional contracts. And again, you can earn as much money as you want. Just make sure you learn the strategy and demo first. Prove it by putting together, prove it to yourself, putting together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal, 10 trades or less, go live with 1 contract, increase your account balance by $2,000, use that money to add a 2nd contract. Blueprint will always tell you when it's time to add an additional contract. But you only add with profit you earned in the market. And you only add 1 at a time. If you follow the blueprint perfectly, how long will it take you to go from 1 to 10 contracts? Probably a year. Let's just be honest. 20 contracts, 2 years. Now, as your account size grows, you see, when you're trading 1 contract and making $100 a day, it's going to take you 20 days, 20 trading days to increase your balance, your account balance by $2,000. But then once you're trading 2 contracts, that's 200 a day. So it's only going to take 10 days to increase your account balance by another $2,000. Now you're trading 3 contracts. Now it's only going to take 7 days to increase your account balance by another $2,000. 4 contracts, 5 days to add another $2,000. Okay. Now Michael has slow walked it this year. 1 contract in January, He added a second in February. He added one additional contract each month, all year long. And so we're in November. He's at 11 contracts. He's earned the right to add his 12th contract December 1st. All of our members have unlimited access to the live training room. Imagine trying to learn how to be an electrician or a plumber or a dentist or an auto mechanic without somebody to teach you how to do the job. That's exactly what 9 out of 10 new traders do. They try to figure it out and they fail. They walk away and they go, it's rigged. The broker's just taking all my money. Those aren't reasons, those are excuses. And they're not true. The problem is they didn't take the time, they didn't take it seriously enough to actually learn how to trade. How long does it take to learn, you ask? Depends on how much attention you pay and how many questions you ask, how many mentoring sessions you book. As a passport holder, you have access to unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. The strategy you learn, the indicators you own for life as a passport holder, they're fluid across all markets and all time frames. Stocks, futures, crypto, forex, ETF. As a passport holder, you'll receive the Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts. Be able to attend the Thursday night members only workshop. You'll enjoy around-the-clock support via Telegram. It is your all-access pass. Everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. And once you buy your passport, you never have to buy another thing from us, ever. It's a pretty sweet deal. Let's wrap up this week. Our good word for the day. Now, I don't know about Thanksgiving at your house, but something we do before we eat. Or sometimes we'll say grace so the food doesn't get cold. And then we go around the table, giving each person an opportunity to speak what it is they're grateful for this year. Whatever it is. If you've never done that, give it a try. It's interesting to hear what's important to other people and what they're thankful for. And as you sit around a Thanksgiving table, it's probably best that you leave politics out of the conversation and avoid the strife that it creates. James 3:16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. The Apostle Paul writes in Philippians 2, make my joy complete by thinking the same way, having the same love, united in spirit, intent on one purpose. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility consider others as more important than yourselves. Everyone should look out not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others. Again, that's Philippians chapter 2, verses 2 through 4. Strife wreaks havoc in relationships It often stems from an inflated ego, which leads to comparing, competing, and condemning. James points that out. For where envying and strife is, there is every evil. So, be a strife spotter. The moment it rears its ugly head, uproot it. Look after each other, so that none of you fails to receive the grace of God. Watch out that no poisonous root of bitterness grows up to trouble you, corrupting many, as Hebrews 12:15. If you want to walk in God's blessings today, tomorrow, and every day, try to live in harmony with others. Is that easy? No. But the sooner you learn to do it, the better things will go for you. When God prompts you to turn the other cheek or take the short end of the stick, draw on His grace and do it. Pray, Lord, give me your wisdom in this situation. He will. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruits, partial, free of hypocrisy, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. That's James 3, verses 17 and 18. Here's the bottom line. If you want to have a nice Thanksgiving, if you want God's blessing on your life, avoid strife at all costs. That's our good word for the day. Hope each and every one of you has a very happy Thanksgiving. We will be back in the saddle Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern when the Globex markets open. And the live training room will open on schedule Monday morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, God willing. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.